Big news this afternoon as rumors are rampant that Justin Trudeau is about to trigger a Liberal leadership race.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Hey gang, what's up? What do you think of Michelle Rempel Garner? Aaron right here, Canadian loony. I like Michelle Rempel Garner. People say she's part of a World Economic something. I don't know. She won an award in 2012. She went to Davos, accepted it, but I don't know if that signs you up for life. Do you think that there are any Conservative MPs that are still a part of that group? Who knows? She has an explosive bomb to drop right here. Maybe she has an inside ear to the things that are happening in Ottawa and Canadian Parliament. Let's take a peek. I'm a fan of Michelle Rempel Garner. I like her stuff. Anyways, her links are below in the description. The stuff she's talking about that she wants you to click on, it's in the description right there at the top. Anyhow, let's take a peek. Maybe we're going to get a new leader of the Liberal Party. She seems to have the info. Let's take a look and a listen.
Which would mean that his time as Liberal leader might be drawing to a close. I'm going to break down all of this for you, what these rumors mean about Justin Trudeau potentially triggering a Liberal leadership race, why people are saying this. But before I get into that, I need a big favor from all of you. In the comments right now, if you're watching this on Facebook, in the video description, if you're watching this on YouTube, is a link to an article that I've written that has everything that I'm about to say. I need you to click on that link and click subscribe, and I'm going to tell you why. We know that social media platforms, they often downgrade certain types of voices, particularly ones that are critical of certain governments. We also know that the Liberal censorship agenda in Canada means that there are actually bans on certain types of news on social media. So what ends up happening is you might not be able to hear all the time when I'm coming to you with news or information like this. If you click on the link in the comments, it allows me to directly communicate with you. It's free. We get around Justin Trudeau and the Liberal censorship bills, censorship bans, and social media algorithms. So if you click on that article, and again, everything that I'm about to talk about is in there, so you can share it with friends. You can click on the other links that are in there so you can actually see the receipts about things that I'm talking about. If you click on it, it allows me to directly communicate with you, and it's going to be really important that I be able to do that in the next few days because what I'm about to tell you is so explosive. So late yesterday evening, it was Friday night last night, news leaked out of the federal Liberal caucus, that's all of the members of Parliament in the Liberal Party, that their caucus chair, the person who leads their caucus meeting, had called a special national caucus meeting for Wednesday of this week. Now, that might not be remarkable, except for two things, three actually. First of all, this Liberal caucus chair, she's not known for having independent opinions. She's not known for calling meetings on her own volition. She usually only calls them at the behest of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. So Justin Trudeau would not have called a caucus meeting. Now it's going to be a whopping 6-hour caucus meeting, which is crazy. Most of routine caucus meetings are about 2 hours at most. So there's a 6-hour caucus meeting. There's no way Justin Trudeau would be calling that to have a 6-hour lambasting session this far ahead of Parliament resuming after it rose ahead of Christmas. So the question of a lot of people last night in the Ottawa gossip room mill was like, well, what's happening? Why is this happening? And this meeting also came to pass after Justin Trudeau, he shuffled his cabinet a couple of weeks ago. A lot of members of Parliament of the Liberal caucus that were passed over for cabinet. So all of a sudden now they're finding their courage. More and more of them are coming out to say, well, I'm going to lose my seat if Justin Trudeau remains leader. Note that they're not criticizing the Liberals' disastrous policies, but they're coming out and asking for his resignation so that they have a better chance of holding their seat. So Justin Trudeau is facing an enormous amount of pressure to resign. Now, what most analysts are saying is that this caucus meeting that's happening on Wednesday it actually suggests that he is going to trigger a leadership race because, according to the Liberal Constitution, if a Liberal leader triggers a leadership race, the caucus has to do a couple of things. They have to pick an interim leader, and they would be involved in a discussion around what the process to select his replacement would look like. So again, if you're just tuning in, it's really vital that you click on the link that's in the comments or in the video description and click subscribe. The article that I've written there, it outlines everything that I'm saying, and it also will allow me to directly communicate with you, so get over these social media algorithms and Justin Trudeau's censorship bans. So what could happen? So this rumor was sort of formalized by a senior Globe and Mail journalist posting a tweet that said late last night, everybody's getting ready for Justin Trudeau's resignation or his announcement to leave before Monday. So if Justin Trudeau did decide to say that he wanted a leadership race, the first question many people are asking are like, so what happens? Like, what would happen next? Well, what I am hearing from some sources in the gossip mill is that Justin Trudeau wouldn't necessarily stop being prime minister. The Globe and Mail reported that he's actually been trying to find a way to trigger a leadership race, but then stay on as, quote, the interim leader as this Liberal leadership race would unfold. This would be a pretty big win for him because it would allow him, as the Liberal Party leader, to have some control over how his successor was chosen. His cabinet picks would stay in place, and he would also be able to keep senior staff on the payroll and also be looking for a job for himself while still being prime minister. So the other thing he could do, though, is just simply quit. Now, what this means for you is that instead of going to a general election, which is what we need as a country, we need a general election. Like, I could spend a whole video telling you why, but instead of going to a general election, if Justin Trudeau just quits and says, I don't want to be interim leader, then a small handful of Liberal insiders, the National Board of Directors of the Liberal Party, would literally pick the next Prime Minister of Canada. Like, think about it, like a few unelected people would, with a wave of a pen, just select whoever they want to be the Prime Minister of Canada at a time of crisis. That is actually what would happen. Like, that is actually the process that would happen. Then, if Justin Trudeau said, well, I'm going to be the interim leader, okay, so Justin Trudeau stays on, and he's a lame duck prime minister at a time of national crisis, instead of going to an election. If there is a scenario here where if the Liberals, these Liberal insiders, choose an interim leader, okay, then they go through a Liberal leadership race. That means that Liberal insiders would pick two prime ministers in 2025 instead of going to a general election. So it's completely outrageous, unbelievable. You know, just like think about this. You know, if you vote Liberal in the past, like as a Canadian, you know, I'm a conservative, you're a Liberal, whatever. We should, one thing we should agree on is the right of Canadians to participate in the democratic process. And a small handful of unelected Liberal national councillors should not be able to choose the Prime Minister of Canada. It's ridiculous. So we need a general election now. The next question that I have outlined in this article, again, the link is in the comments or the video description. Please click it. Please click subscribe. That many of you will be asking is this. Well, won't the NDP just like call a non-confidence vote? This is crazy. How can the NDP support the Liberals? The NDP can't support the Liberals through this, right? Absolutely they could. And I'm going to give you the two ways that the Liberals may be able to do this with the help of the NDP. The first is, it's possible that Justin Trudeau, if these rumors are true, could go to the Governor General and say, I want to prorogue, which is a fancy way of saying suspend Parliament. That means that the House of Commons shuts down, parliamentary committees shut down, and my party, the Conservative Party, we had this mechanism, we were trying to force a confidence vote at the end of January. If he decided to suspend, like to prorogue Parliament, that would mean that all of that would come to a close. So during that time, not only would Parliament would be suspended, but as I just said, a small handful of Liberal insiders would be picking the next prime minister of Canada, as opposed to going to a general election. Like, think about, like, actually wrap your head around how undemocratic this is. And this is like a highly likely scenario right now. So that's option number one, is that Trudeau could just suspend Parliament, and then the NDP wouldn't have to face another confidence vote. But let's say Trudeau doesn't prorogue Parliament. Let's say that the Liberals do not prorogue Parliament, or somehow Parliament is not prorogued. I honestly think that the NDP will continue to support the Liberals. And I'm going to give you two reasons why. And again, I outline this in the link that's in the comments or the video description. I've got links to all of this stuff in there as well, so you can read it for yourself. This week, several prominent members of the NDP, as well as Green Party leader Elizabeth May, came out and they said this, wow, we don't think we should have an election right now. Canada's in a time of crisis, and it would be irresponsible for us. And they were essentially suggesting that even if the Liberals are in a leadership race in this crazy situation, that they would continue to support the Liberal government. So you've got senior members of the NDP, Green Party leader Elizabeth May, saying that they wouldn't vote non-confidence in the government even if Parliament wasn't prorogued. So why would they do that? Well, for two reasons. First of all, many of these people are either retiring or they're worried about losing their seat in the next election. And in the case of Jagmeet Singh and or Elizabeth May, they might not be party leader after the next election. So these people want to prevent an election as long as possible so that they can bump up their essentially how much they would get in a pension, as well as collect a paycheck as long as possible. The second reason why they would continue to prop up the Liberal government in this crazy scenario is because the NDP, it is highly unlikely that if there is a change in government, I'm being very generous here, the NDP would lose their ability, thankfully, graciously, mercifully, lose their ability to influence the government after a federal election. So they want to hold on to this, what little power they have, right? Which is absolutely insane, an insane reason. But yet here we are. So it's actually possible that even if Justin Trudeau doesn't prorogue Parliament, that the NDP will continue to support the Liberals, even though the Liberals would be going through, in theory, according to rumors here, a process by which they would be selecting one, maybe two prime ministers with Liberal backroom insiders, as opposed to going to a general election. So why does this matter? Why does this matter to you? Well, I mean, it should be obvious. Canada is in a time of crisis. We have record inflation, a housing crisis, a broken immigration system, the threat of tariffs from incoming American President Donald Trump, a massive crime wave, and think about the instability that this process would continue to have on the country. So essentially, you have Justin Trudeau saying that the rumor has it that he's potentially going to trigger a leadership race, maybe or maybe not stay on as prime minister during that time, maybe or maybe not have a Liberal insider selected next prime minister of Canada, and no general election like in the near future. That's crazy. That sends a huge message to people. Like, think about how unstable that is. Think about if you're a business and you're looking to invest or create jobs, you're looking at the political climate and going, I don't think so. Our economy is slowing down. Like, we're facing all these crises. We need stability in government, and yet the NDP and the Liberals are just at the end of the day, folks. This is what's happening here: is you've got people that refuse to put the good of the country as elected officials ahead of their own self-interest. And that's really the thing for Justin Trudeau here. Justin Trudeau has one possibility to have some modicum of respect, something that resembles doing the right thing at the end of his career. And that would be that if he really is tired of being prime minister, if he really thinks he's the best person, or if he really thinks he's the best person, that there's no one else in his caucus, as has been the case up till now. Justin Trudeau has not wanted to go anywhere, and his caucus has not tried to get him to resign until they were passed over for cabinet, right? And the polling numbers started saying, if he wants to go, he should be going to a general election. That's what we need right now. And it's not about any political party. It's about, you, as the electorate, having the ability in a democratic process to give a new government a mandate to address all of the problems that our country is facing, instead of just continuing the dumpster fire that the Liberals are creating. So anyway, that is what the rumor mill in Ottawa is saying. Is they're saying that there's everybody's on high alert today that Justin Trudeau could be triggering a race as soon as Monday, that he potentially could be proroguing Parliament because of that. And it is just wild to me that this is happening in a country that's supposed to be free and democratic. Now, Conservatives, for our part, we're going to continue to, give you information about what's happening. We're not going to let, outlets like biased outlets like the CBC to define the narrative on this. I'm going to come to you tomorrow with a huge analysis of how the CBC, there's an egregious example of how the CBC is trying to spin this situation. But I'm going to write up an article on that as well too. So again, how you can stay informed and help me fight back and other members in my party, click on the link that's in the comments or in the video description. Click subscribe so that I can directly communicate with you as this situation unfolds over the next few days. Completely wild. I'll just close with this. Regardless of if the rumor mill is true or not, but there's like senior reporters that are reporting on this now. This is so unstable. Like, this is a complete clown show. It is a complete clown show. And what the country deserves is an election. I cannot believe that this is happening. I mean, I can. It's Justin Trudeau and his Liberals who are all complicit in this. But anyway, I'm going to continue to try and get information, give it to you, and where we can, use the tools that we can to fight back. Please share this video. Please help me get the word out. And most importantly, please click subscribe on the link that's in the comments. It's free to do that. And I'll be able to directly to your inbox give you updates as they occur. Working hard for you. Have a great day.
We're going to wrap it up there, guys. Maybe we're going to get a new Liberal leader. Who knows? Michelle Rempel Garner, tell me, what do you think about this lady in the comments? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, get notified, all those fun things. Come check out one of the live shows. Aaron Canadian Looney, thanks for watching this video. Maybe we're going to get an election, at least a new leader of the Liberal Party, maybe a new direction. Things need to change up here in this country, no doubt. Catch you next video. Thanks for watching this one. We're out.
We should all have had enough with this cabinet and this government's failed approach to economic growth while our country stares down the barrel of a looming recession. And it's this government's problem. They have failed to repatriate manufacturing. They have failed to inspire investment in our country. And they are making it harder for women in my community to put loaves of bread in their cart. And I've had enough. And people in this place have had enough, Mr. Speaker. And people across this country have had enough. So I challenge every Liberal backbencher here today, tomorrow morning is their caucus meeting, to stand up and say what that one person said off the record to a reporter. Enough with the woke shit. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I take that back. I apologize for my unparliamentary language immediately. I'm very sorry. Enough with the woke stuff. And get on with the plan. And it's right to be passionate with this, because we have to do better things to protect Canadians from inflation.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.